the ice sheet, ready to get things underway here in the second period as the Utah Utes leading the Weber State Wildcats by a score of 2-1. John McBride, John Skatin with you. Weber State going right to left on your radio dial. The Utes going left to right on your radio dial. As the puck one time, the face-off that time won by the Utes, dumped to the right side across the boards down there, taken that time by Tim Brownell. Brownell scoots it upside to Chris Roberts. Roberts up at center ice, now scoots into the neutral zone, in deep into the Utah Utes zone with a full load of speed, looks for a connecting pass to Snowball, and that doesn't connect. Here comes Utah on the transition that time.
Nice play by Utah defense the other way when Roberts had a ton of speed to keep him to the outside the entire time. Didn't have any option to go to the middle of the ice.
Andrew Reed hands it off that time to Ben Wilner. Wilner dumps it into the Utah Ute end where it's taken, knocked out that time by Brownell. Brownell spoons it left side that time to Snowball, or excuse me, Curtis Snowball. And Snowball will dump it into the Utah end as the Cats make a change. Now here come the Utes up right side that time, giving off to Andrew Reed. Reed stops, hands it off, and passes it quickly to Mike Vritis. Vritis with the shot, and right through the crease that time. And a shot there by Bertignoli goes through the crease, but here comes Weaver the other way. Avery House will dump it in the near boards and pick it up by Gibb, the goalie for the Utah Utes. Now, this time handed out, shot that time, and a nice save by Gibb. Shot by Shane Schindler. And here comes Bertignoli on the left boards, loses his edge and falls down. But there's a shot and deflected in that time. Colton Smith kind of just throws it at the net, and it ends going in for the Utah Utes, and they now lead 3-1. Colton Smith with the goal.
Tough one there for the Wildcats to start the period. Really, they had some good things happening on the other end of the ice. A nice play to get it on net. Deflection by Chris Deitch on the other end, but then the Utes come straight back, and again, just kind of a funny bounce there. Not sure if Bertignelli got a piece of that or if it went off the defenseman, but regardless, it's 3-1. The Utes, really good start to this period.
Yeah, you know, John, let me correct myself. Wrong Colton McDonald with the goal that time for the Utah Utes. Makes it now 3-1 with 18:30 left to go here in the second period. Utes win that draw again off center ice, but nice job there by Deitch to take it in deep to the Utah zone, dumps it around, cycling taking place. Roberts goes towards the point, hands it off, shot that time, knocked away by Gibb. Schindler's shot knocked away that time. And House able to keep it into Deitch and hands it off to Roberts. Roberts coming towards us here inside the Utah zone. Now picked up nicely that time by Jesse Love, and the shot goes just wide of Gibb. It kind of trickled down by Gibb. Snowball tries to keep it in, but it's pulled out by the Utes.
That was some pretty good pressure there by Weber State to counter right after being scored on. To start with that much offensive pressure there, it's a good sign for the Wildcats.
Josh Judice into Utah zone, just dumps it in. A nice block that time by Daniel Constantino, and here come the Utes the other way in transition. Eric Robbins hands it off that time for Virtus, no good, blocked that time. Now Virtus tries to dump it to the side of the net, no good, and there goes Judice down. He'll be pulled down, and a penalty will be coming up, and Weber State will go on the power play. Looks like penalty will be on Eric Robbins, John, and so Weber State one for one.
It might be Virtus, actually, the captain there.
Weber State going to the power play.
Yeah, they're 1 for 1 so far, as you were saying, and big chance for them to get back in the game here. Really unfortunate for the Wildcats is the Utes just with a really strong end to the first period and beginning of the second period. And that's how you win games, with momentum like that. When you can start and finish periods that well, it becomes easy to win games. But
face-off won by Utah, and they'll dump it in as Weber State has got some work to do here in this power play. Down by 2 goals with 17:07 left to go here in the second period. The Utes leading the Wildcats 3-1. Now House approaches center ice, dumps it left side that time to Dom Lancaster. Lancaster hits Ryan Hurris very hard into the boards. McBride heard that one up here, but Utes able to control the puck. Bertignoli on the penalty kill, keeping it in the Weber State in.
Speaking of momentum changes, hits like that can change momentum.
Lancaster dumps it into Gibb, but Utah doing a nice job dumping it out again. And here comes Harris. Harris with a quick shot, kind of deflects off Torgerson with the quick save. And about a minute to go left in the power play for the Cats, and really nothing going as that puck knocked over the boards. And so it'll stay in neutral zone for the faceoff.
Let's go back to that hit by Lancaster again. Holy cow. It was one of those plays where the Utah defenseman's coming up, but he's kind of flat-footed trying to make that hit. So he has no momentum coming into that physical contact, whereas the Weber State player, Lancaster, is coming with a ton of speed, and it's just one of those plays where the hitter gets hit, and it was a big one.
Weber State finally wins their first draw of the period. Giudice will hand it off to Schindler. And now here comes Snowball. Snowball with some speed, avoids 2 hits, and now heads offside. Roberts a quick wrister, but it'll be called for offsides. And so Weber State really can't get anything into the Utah end here, John.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a good chance for them. Really, Weber State's top 3 offensive players there, Snowball, Roberts, and Giudice on a 3-on-2, but looks like they actually called that on an offside, and so it's a tough one for the Wildcats there as this penalty is quickly running out.
Roberts holds it in as that puck was attempted to be knocked out by Utah, but Roberts on the far point now holds it, gives it back to Giudice. Giudice, top of the key now, top of the circle I should say, swings it across to Schindler. Schindler hand passes it to himself. Now Davis at the point, over to Roberts at top of the circle on the far side. Roberts spins around now. Still holds the puck, gives it off one-timer by Giudice, kind of fans on it, picked up by Snowball. 10 seconds to go here on the Weber State power play with 15-20 to go in the second period. Here's a shot by Giudice, goes wide. 5 seconds left on the power play. Davis holding to Roberts. Roberts near point now, takes the shot, blocked that time by Bertignoli, and Bertignoli does a nice job to just kind of hold it. And that time, Vertus comes out of the box, so we back to full strength.
Oh,
and
boy.
there's a steal that time and a shot wide that time by Andrew Reed. Reed picked that one up, and a penalty be called now on Weber State. I believe Sean Schindler will be called for cross-checking. I don't know what yep, they do call cross-check.
Kind of a weird series of events there, as that was a horrific giveaway in his own end by Chris Roberts there. Right on the tape of the Utah player in the high slot. Shoots it over the net, luckily, but then a big hit by Schindler behind the net, and as you said, gets called in the cross-check as he got the stick up there. And so Wildcats had a big chance there to get back into this game with a power play goal. Instead, they're right back to the penalty kill.
Utes win the face-off. Reed wins that one. Now the Utes on the power play here with under 15 to go. A quick shot that time by Utah. And Torgerson doing a nice job through traffic, picking that up and just kind of sucking it into his gut, John.
Yeah, as you said, sucking that in, that's the biggest part of that play right there, so he doesn't let any rebound whatsoever. Well-designed play by the Utes, though, to get that shot through from the point with a ton of traffic.
Hazeldine and Reed. Now Reed is pushed out of the face-off circle. And looks like Adam Brown wins the face-off for the Utes. Now behind the net. Brownell doing a nice job trying to ride off Hazeldine. Brown that time. Now puck sent towards the net, but now it's shot and nice block that time. And here's a break this time for Hazeldine. Hazeldine coming in on goal and he scores! Hazeldine with a short-handed backhander.
What a shot! What a shot! Can't ask for anything better there on the penalty kill. To have a forward that aggressive on the block shot is huge. The fact that he goes out to the point, gets good position, blocks that shot, then there's no way the Utah player is going to catch up to him as he's flat-footed. And the Weber State player already with a ton of speed there goes in and just roofs that backhand. Beautiful shot by Nick Beerwolf right there as he comes in. Hasn't played a ton this season. As we said, we thought it was Riley Hazeldine, usually wears number 8, but Beerwolf really proving his worth for the Wildcats tonight.
You're exactly right. Those last-second jersey changes, but nonetheless, it's still a goal for Weber State, and they're within one. Bertignoli quickly coming the other way, takes a shot on Torgerson, and that puck will go up over the net in a stoppage of play Weber State almost falling asleep there, John.
That was actually a nice play by Utes there in front of the net. Instead of trying to put that on his backhand and clear the puck, he stayed on his forehand and just chipped that over the glass behind the net. Smart play to, not the easiest thing to do or what you think of right away, but smart play to get a whistle.
Colton McDonald hands it off at the time, and a shot wide by Bertignolli, but there's Vertus trying to get it in, and he's knocked down nicely that time by Weber State, but Utah still manages to keep the puck in, and here comes Avery House. House up the near board kind of stops and slows things down, and that rush will be stopped by Utah. Colton McDonald will just hold the puck and hand it off to Bertignolli. Bertignolli swings it to the far boards with a burst of speed. Here's Vertus. Vertus with a shot wide off of Torgerson's glove. Bertignolli picks up the rebound there, swings it. Now back to Bertignolli. Near the boards.
Weber State has 5 players on the ice right now. The University of Utah bench was going crazy. There's still a player down. They're going to get called for a too many men on the ice penalty here. But the ref didn't notice. If it wasn't for the University of Utah bench, it was going absolutely nuts. That's a tough call, though. You're already down 1 man. Now you're going to go down 2 with a too many men on the ice penalty. Yikes.
Yeah, this thing's falling apart after that goal. You thought some momentum would go their way, John.
Yeah.
Utah, so far on the power play, they are 2 for 3 on the power play tonight. So that's a pretty good percentage. And now they're in a situation of a 5-on-3. They've got a 5-on-3 with 27 seconds left.
Yeah, and as you said, they've been effective on the power play. They really have a nice formation of what they try and do, working it around the perimeter and then putting low, hard shots on the net from the point with the forwards converging at the net, trying to get a stick on it, a body in front of Torgerson or something. Worked really well so far tonight, and we'll see if they can get another one here. Big opportunity as they have 27 seconds of 5-on-3 time.
Giudice and Bertignolli on the draw, and won that time by the Utes in a 5-on-3. Swinging at the near side, Bertignolli to McDonald. McDonald top center, shoots, goes wide, deflected wide, but Bertignolli still manages to pick that up. 10 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Now near side, Turner. Now the shot and the save by Torgerson, and Brownell able to dump it out.
Big play right there. That'll kill off that 5-on-3 as the Wildcats get another player back right now.
So now a 5-on-4 for Utah, still in a full burst of speed that time. Bertignolli tries to shoot the shot, whiffs on it, and another shot that time by Andrew Reed goes wide to the right side. Utah still with the puck. McDonald on the near point. Hands it off to Reed. Reed holds it, now dumps it in deep to Bertignolli. Looks in the center for Vertus, and Vertus will just shoot it high into the net with 12:39 left to go here in the second period.
1:11 left in the power play. And the Wildcats are really doing a good job on that penalty kill, especially on that 5-on-3. They kept a nice tight triangle with only 3 guys on that penalty kill, and Tim Brownell came up with a huge clear. But if the Wildcats can kill this off, that'd be huge. 1:11 left.
Draw one that time by Utah again. Adam Brown holds it in the corner and dumps it around behind the net. Picked up that time by TJ Smith. Smith with under a minute to go for the Utah power play here in the second quarter, leading by 1. Now held by Utah. Smith looking for connecting pass, intercepted nicely by House. It's a Utah player on the bench, so it'll come out to the neutral zone.
It was a nice play by Chris Deitch to anticipate where that pass was going to go cross ice. Just got enough of a stick on it, and then Avery House chipped it out of the zone. I think House is talking to the referee right now about the fact that the backup goaltender on the Utah bench kind of stuck out his glove to knock that pass down. Not sure if that was out of self-defense or not, but anytime a player can give a referee an earful, he's going to take advantage of that.
Bertignolli wins the draw, hands it off to McDonald. He speeds up and takes the quick shot, goes left, hits the net, and a stoppage of play.
Had a lot of deflections go over that end glass so far tonight. But Wildcats will take it. Just 40 seconds left to kill on this Chris Roberts penalty. He's serving the too many men on the ice call. Look for the Wildcats to take advantage of Roberts' speed when his penalty expires. If he can sneak behind that defense, that University of Utah defense, and get a breakaway pass, they might just try that.
Another draw won that time by Utah. Here's Ben Wilner, will dump it in around the boards, picked up that time by Weber State. Chris Deitch goes a little too far and runs right over it. Bertignoli's got 25 seconds left for the Utes. He'll take the puck. Here the circle, looks in, tries to dump it off back to McDonald. Knocked away that time nicely by Snowball, but Utah still retains possession of the puck. Now Bertignoli in the slot. Now comes out towards the near circle. 3 Utes out on the point. Now hands it off to Virtus, and a nice block there by Torgerson. And Schindler's going to try and take control of it, but loses it. Bertignoli still able to keep it in for the Utes, but the power play ticks off for the Utes, and a nice job by Weber State with 2 minutes of power play time and icing that time. But Weber State defensively doing a nice job.
Yeah, another nice job on that penalty kill. Really did a good job of utilizing that box defense on the penalty kill and keeping the play to the outside. Bertignoli had a ton of time with the puck, but just couldn't find an entrance into the middle of the ice. Staying on the outside, finally settled for a shot that probably he would take back, but a really nice play by Weber State to keep that explosiveness to the outside of the ice where Torgerson could take advantage of those shots.
3-2, Utah leading Weber State here with 11:10 left to go in the second period. John McBride, John Skati with you. Utes and Weber State both at the bottom of the ACHA Division II standings. And I've got their work cut out for them as they head into the second part of the season here, approaching the second part. Weber State, Brown, Roberts, there's a name we haven't called a whole lot in this period. Chris Roberts finally gets it at and is able to dump it in the Utah end, but no other Weber State players there to help him pick up the pace. Utah controls it that time as Andy Johnston picks it up. It crosses the blue line. Now this time center ice, the Utes come. And the puck dumped in by the Utes. Weber State doing a nice job of not letting the Utes get past them. And Weber State will control in their own end. Deflects off a Utah skate, so no icing. And here comes Adam Brown. Brown hands it off that time to Virtus. And Weber State able to control it. A connecting pass from Judice to Roberts goes too far. Now Beerwolf knocked around by a couple of Utes. And a penalty is going to be called on Judice again. Looks like elbowing.
Elbowing, maybe hit from behind, roughing. You can call it a few different things there. It's a big hit. There are a few big hits in that sequence there. Right before that, Beerwolf was what you'd call sandwiched right in that same spot as 2 University of Utah players kind of hit him at the same time and sandwiched him right there. And then kind of responding to that, Judice comes in and hits the man with his back turned. And you're not going to get away with that very often in this game of hockey. So another penalty killing situation for the Wildcats.
Bertignoli now in the slot, and the puck still around. I almost said the ball there. But now Virtus swings it right side that time to Ben Wilner. Wilner approaches the top of the circle. A shot, no, a pass there to Bertignoli from Virtus. Doug goes right through his legs. Now the puck on the far corner, dug out that time finally by Utah. Still in their end. Shot deflected off a House's skate. Still in Utah's end. And dumped around behind the net. That time picked up by Weber State. Jesse Love, and Love will knock it out and clear the puck with under 10 to go here. Weber State down by 1, 3-2 here in the second period. Utes got 1:14 left on the power play and are 2 for 4 on the night. McDonald behind his own net will now bring the puck up. Left side, hands it off to Bertignoli. But Bertignoli loses the puck, and nice job by Weber State to just jump it back in. Jesse Love doing some good work on the penalty kill.
Yeah, Jesse Love's been impressive back there on the defense. Made a few big plays on this penalty kill, picking off passes and firing it down the ice.
Riley Alice hands it off that time to Virtus. Virtus with a shot. Nice save by Torgerson. Puts the pads down. McDonald now quickly. Virtus tries to get it and shoots it, and it gets his own rebound and scores.
Tough one there. Another power play goal for the Utes. This was a tough one. I was just about to say how stellar Jonas Torgerson's played tonight. He has made a number of great saves, but he'd certainly like that one back as he made the initial save, didn't exactly know where the puck went, but it was lying right there, and Virtus makes no mistake, scoring his 11th goal of the season.
So Mike Verdes makes it 4-2 with 8:47 left to go here in the second period. And now Utah 3 of 5 on the power play. And here comes quickly Utah State again. Nice move by Constantino, but can't go too far. And Torgerson didn't get that puck. A big hit that time by Utah keeps the puck in the Weber State end. Now nice save that time by Bertignoli to keep it in. Bertignoli will elect not to chase from it, gives it, and Brownell will take over. Beerwolf trying to connect with Roberts, can't, but Weber State controls the puck in their own end that time. Now it's taken over that time by McDonald along the boards. Hands it off left side to TJ Smith. Smith with the shot. Nice save by Torgerson, but goes over the net and hits the netting above the boards.
Another play there for the Utes where Weber State just gave them way too much time. Smith there had a ton of time with that puck in the high slot, the most dangerous part of the ice, and the Weber State defense just taking a bit too long to converge there in the middle of the ice. There again, the player in the slot with a ton of time. Utah
wins another draw. Shot wide that time by Utah. And finally, Snowball will clear it out. Gives it off to Judice, who's out of the box. Judice up the right side. Hands off to Roberts and deflects off a Utah player and into the netting.
That's the play the Wildcats want. They'll take that any day. Chris Roberts on a one-timer there. Nice drop pass from Judice. But again, I think the Utes are really showing a concerted effort of putting some pressure on Chris Roberts tonight. They were right there for that one-timer.
Roberts and Reed for the draw, and Reed wins it for the Utes. They'll dump it around in their own end. Now play whistle dead. As the net comes off its moorings.
7:40 left in the second period. Really, the Wildcats have to get something before the end of the period to go into the third with any sort of momentum. Really struggling right now. Obviously, the main thing they can change right now is stay out of that penalty box. Utah's making them pay, but we'll see if the Wildcats can shape up and get some kind of jump out there.
Charles German controls the pucks for the Utes, hands it off. Left side, now a shot that time goes just wide that time by Reed, and Torgerson will cover that up as the puck bounced off the backboards there and right to his glove, and he smartly decides to cover it up. Wildcats are 3-12-1 on the season, 2-3-1 at home. Utah doesn't fare much better, 5-10, 1-6 on the road. Weber State wins the job, but Bertignoli steals the puck along the far boards and hands it off nicely. Nice poke check from behind that time by Judice to end the Utah rush there, but Bertignoli rubs Judice off, and now three players. Then Bertignoli comes away with it. A nice shot there by McDonald as he was being held up by Davis. Puck still in the the Weber State end. Bertignoli, one-timer by McDonald, whiffs on that one. And picked up by Weber State and Jesse Love. Love will dump it to center ice, and Utes will pick it up. And Utes will dump it in. They're ready for a change. And things getting a little chippy on the far side, McBride. Brownell, though, keeps it for the Cats. Cats looking for a goal, and here comes Brown, a 2-on-2. Roberts, that is, excuse me. Roberts slows things down, send it off to Judice, right back to Roberts. Quick shot, save by Gibb. Kind of a deflected in a slow shot. 2:40 left to go here in the period. Utes leading 4-2. Verdes hands it off quickly that time. Nice save by Torgerson on the shot by Reed. And there's a stock that time taken by Reed and a penalty on Weber State. And the Utes will go again to the power play.
Interference call coming here to Chris Deitch. He's going to go to the box for 2 minutes. Again, the Wildcats just can't afford these penalties. It looked like, once again, the momentum was starting to shift. The Wildcats are getting a few opportunities offensively, but kicking themselves in the foot, going back to the penalty box once again.
So the Utes on a power play. Deitch goes to the penalty box for interference. Bertignoli here on the far point. Hands it off that time to Wilner. Wilner to McDonald. McDonald takes the shot but goes wide, deflected off a couple of Cats that time. But Bertignoli controls here along the boards, the near boards, towards the corner, looking for a cross pass to McDonald, but goes off the top of his stick. McDonald still keeps control, looks for a centering pass to Bertagnoli. Shot goes wide, but Bertagnoli, boy, John, was wide open there in the slot.
A great pass to find him streaking right there.
McDonald and a save that time by Torgerson. What a save on Bertagnoli.
That was absolutely phenomenal. Bertagnoli with a wide open net. Nice play to get to that scoring area once again, but Jonas Torgerson, the Norwegian goaltender, the phenomenal play right there to lay out and showing tremendous upper body strength to actually keep his body in front of the goal line as Bertagnoli was pushing right into him.
Torgerson stretching out with the glove, doing a nice job, John. That was impressive.
Well, that's a big play. That's a big play. Really, this is a crucial point of the game as the Wildcats have the big clear right there. Late in this period, if the Utes score here on this power play, that puts them up 5-2 going into the third. A 3-goal lead going into the third period is maybe almost insurmountable. But if the Wildcats could come up with a penalty kill here, on the other hand, that gives them some momentum going into the third. And coming up with 2 goals in the third is much more makeable. So big point right here.
Nice save by Torgerson, a rebound shot and a score, though, by the Utes makes it 5-2.
And just as I talk about turning points, maybe that is it right there, as the Utes scored their third power play goal of the game to go up 5-3. Just 1:23 left in the period. And it looks like
Charles Germain.
That was Germain who will get credit for the goal there. Big one for the Utes to go up 5-2 late in the second.
Boy, John, that's a heartbreaker. Utes now 3 of 6 on the power play tonight.
It's especially a heartbreaker because Torgerson just made that huge save seconds before. I mean, that almost nullifies the fact that he had maybe the save of the year right there on Bertagnoli.
4 of 6, excuse me, on the power play. So 5-2 here as we come to a minute left in the second period. Here come the Utes in a quick 3-on-2. Vertus on the left side. Now Weber State comes back and a shot deflects off Torgerson's stick. Hits the netting. So with 1 minute to play exactly, Utes leading by 3.
Wildcats just having a tough time coming up with anything offensively. Even their top offensive players. Roberts just hasn't gotten the chances he seems to usually get. Judice maybe a step behind tonight. But again, with so many injuries like we talked about at the beginning of the show, really, it's tough for the Wildcats to sustain any kind of energy out there.
McDonald wins the draw, and a quick shot there by Vertus goes off of Torgerson's shoulder. Utah controls in the Weber State end. Bertagnoli fighting against Brownell. Brownell doing a nice job rubbing off Bertagnoli, and a shot that time by McDonald, and another shot and a score by Vertus. Vertus takes the rebound from McDonald and puts it on the backhand and lifts it up over Torgerson and makes it 6-2.
Mike Vertus, you got to credit him on the play there to take that rebound and have enough patience to not just try to jam that right back in, but have the patience to go to his backhand, outweight Torgerson, and find the open net there. A nice play by the second leading scorer for the Utah Utes. That's his second goal tonight, 12th of the season for Mike Vertus.
So Weber State had a 4-2 deficit. It's quickly ballooned to a 6-2 deficit with under a minute to go here in the second period.
This has not been the period they wanted. Coming into the period just down 1, 2-1 as Wildcats go offside there. This has not been the period they wanted as they've been outscored 4-1 here in the second.
Avery House slamming his stick to the ice as Cats are offside. Deach wins the faceoff for Weber State and controlled by Schindler here along the center ice right in front of us. 25 seconds and counting left to go. Utes leading 6-2. Gibb almost loses that puck through his legs along the net as he played it, but no harm, no foul. Quickly, here comes Reed up the left side. 2-on-3 for the Utes. Reed behind the net now. Slips on his edge, falls down, but picked up that time by Robbins. Robbins will lose the puck though and dumped out that time by Beerwolf, and there goes the second period buzzer. So at the end of the 2, Utah Utes leading 6-2. We'll be back with third period action as you are listening to Wildcat Hockey, brought to you by 88.1 Weber FM.